I was in my own doorway when a fake HOA cop with a badge and a gun decided my porch was his jurisdiction. One moment, it was a quiet afternoon. The next, a stranger in tactical gear had a pistol aimed at my heart. His vest read, "Association Enforcement." His stance was rigid, his expression a mix of nerves and false bravado. "Hands up, now," he commanded. I didn't move. "This is my home. Lower your weapon." He took a step closer, the barrel unwavering. "You're being detained. Non-compliance will force my hand." I almost smiled. Almost. The sheer audacity was staggering. Before we get into how this happened, let me know where you're joining from. Comment your country below. To understand why a pretend officer felt he could draw on a homeowner, you need the backstory. I'm David Shaw. I served. I bought this house for peace. The problem was the HOA treasurer, Gloria Finch. Years ago, my testimony in a federal fraud case helped convict her brother. It wasn't personal, it was my duty. She never forgot. When she saw my name on the neighborhood roster, a Cold War began. The harassment was systematic: fines for imaginary infractions, aesthetic non-compliance, unauthorized garden ornament, improper curb appeal. I paid the first few, hoping for quiet. Then I decided to sell. That's when she played her card. A notice arrived. I was prohibited from selling due to outstanding penalties of $8,000. No lien, no judgment, just her word. I demanded proof. She replied, "The association's word is proof enough." 2 weeks later, this man was on my step, gun drawn, claiming I'd refused a mandatory inspection. A fiction. "You're trespassing," I told him, my voice flat. That's when his hand went to his holster. Now here we stood. "I am not resisting arrest, because you are not making an arrest. You are committing a crime." He sneered. "You military types always think you're above the rules. Hands up, turn around." I raised my hand slowly, not in submission, but in preparation. I saw it then. This wasn't an enforcement. It was a vendetta, and I was in its crosshairs. He kept the gun leveled. "Face the wall, now." "Homeowner associations lack detention authority," I said, each word precise. "You are aiming a firearm without cause. That is a felony." A flicker of doubt crossed his eyes. His gaze darted to the street. The reality of witnesses, of consequence, was dawning. "Stop talking," he barked, his voice tightening. I am not moving. His breathing hitched. Then he made the choice that changed everything. The gun roared. A searing pain tore through my shoulder. The impact spun me into the door jamb. For a heartbeat, there was only shock. Then the warm rush of blood down my arm. Training overrode pain. Close the distance. He stared at his weapon, stunned by his own action. I didn't mean to. I lunged. We crashed into the porch railing. I seized his wrist, twisting with all my weight. A sickening pop. He screamed. The pistol clattered between our feet. We both scrambled. He was faster, fueled by panic, his fingers brushing the grip. I kicked it, sending it skittering into the garden. We tumbled off the step, grappling on the walkway. He threw a wild punch. I drove my knee into his ribs. Something cracked. I rolled, grabbed the gun, and rose. He froze, seeing his own weapon aimed back at him. "Wait!" I fired once, low. The bullet struck his leg. He collapsed, screaming, clutching the gushing wound. The street erupted. Screams, shouts of "Call 911." Phones emerged from every window. I backed away, my own blood soaking my sleeve. "I've been shot," I announced to the growing crowd. "He fired first." He was sobbing now, all pretense gone. She said it was okay." Sirens wailed, growing closer. The real police arrived with definitive force. They secured the scene, medics rushing to both of us. A tourniquet bit into my arm. An officer approached. "He shot me," I said, nodding to the whimpering man. "Check the neighbor's cameras." They did, and they heard his confession as they loaded him into an ambulance. Gloria Finch told me to do it. She said make him comply. The puzzle locked into place. At the hospital, detectives visited him before surgery. He confessed fully, providing texts from Gloria authorizing the detainment. She was arrested at her home that evening. The illusion of her authority shattered upon contact with real law. The imposter was charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and impersonation. He received a 40-year prison sentence. Gloria Finch was convicted of conspiracy, solicitation of a violent felony, and extortion. She was sentenced to 18 years. Borrowed power is a weapon that always turns on its wielder. The HOA imploded. The board resigned. Every fine she levied was voided. I sold the house and left. No goodbye, no looking back. Now, when I think of that porch, I don't recall the fear or the pain. I remember the instant his costume of authority melted away, revealing just a frightened, foolish man who'd believed a liar. When you play with the illusion of power, you invite the reality of consequences. This wasn't a dispute over rules. It was a lesson in what happens when petty vengeance meets principled resolve. If you value stories where justice cuts through corruption, show your support. Hit the like button for Winds of Thought. It fuels our mission to share truth.